¿Qué dice la bandera? ¿Cómo les va? ¿Cómo están? ¿Cómo nos trata? Aquí vamos de nuevo, de regreso, terminando de emprender otro camino de la vida más, otra aventura más. Como pueden observar allá, viene otro autobusito de estos chiquititos. Cada más gente, están en constante fluido, salen cada 15 minutos los autobuses. No es la gran vuelta ni la gran tiempo que se toma para estar acá, pero con 20 minutos que te dan de tiempo, basta y sobra, caminas encima, experimentas algo en tu vida que jamás lo has hecho. Y no hay nada bonito como estar descubriendo cada día algo de lo natural, de lo esencial de la vida, porque esto es parte, es patrimonio de la vida del ser humano. Entonces uno por naturaleza tendría que visitar lugares así. Lo que pasa es que las culturas ya se han ido perdiendo, entonces no hay que dejar que eso se pierda, sino que le vamos a dejar a los hijos en el futuro. No va a ser algo interesante.
Alright, so as we make our way back through the transfer station, I mentioned that the first foremost ice explorer came out on the glacier in 1981. It's the first year we used them out here. But that is not the first time that people came as tourists or were transported out onto the glacier. In fact, people have been coming out since 1940 and getting into different types of vehicles over the years to come out and explore the glacier such as you have. Now, it hasn't always been so organized as far as stay on this pathway. You know, early years they kind of let them be a little precarious and just walk out and say, watch out for the crevasses. But as you can see when you look, and if you're on the right hand side, you can see here they can get pretty deep. Now, whoever lost their silver cover for backpack or whatever it was, when I went over, what happened was it got into a crevasse with the water. So it's just flowing downstream. It may end up all the way at the end. So if you want to go over with your car and walk up to the lake, you might find it down at the shoreline, or it might get caught somewhere if it's got a blockage, because the crevasses don't always maintain the same width as they go down. The other dangers on the ice is actually something called mill wells. And much as the name implies, it is a type of well, but think of it like a funnel up top. You know, it's wide and then it narrows. It starts wide at the mouth of it and then it narrows as it's coming down. And so mill wells can go quite deep into the ice. In fact, they can go down as deep as what the ice is. The thing is, the problem is they're unknown. So they go down in depth, just like a well. But as I say, they can kind of start as a funnel, wide mouth at the top, and then they narrow. So the problem is if you fall into a mill well, you never know if you're going to go all the way down and float down to the bottom of the glacier, or if you get stuck somewhere. And of course, by the time you're able to get rescued, hypothermia may well have set in. So if anyone touches the ice or the water to feel, it's quite cold.
Pues ahí estaba explicando ella de que los primeros carros que entraron
And
en
here we have
ese año.
another ice explorer coming our way. Let him finish through his tire wash. Got a great view of the valley down below. Wave hello.
Say hello. Y vamos hacia arriba, ahorita la adrenalina va a ser otra.
And as we're approaching the tire wash, going back up here, for those of you on the left-hand side of the coach, if you look a little forward, below all of the rock and rubble, you'll see water going down, and it's kind of hollow, right? So the water sort of goes under the ice. It is going down, but it's making a crevasse that goes down, and you can start to see, well, you can see there's ice underneath the snow. When you see that bluish green color, that is glacier ice.
Lo
Now, it's
hermoso
important
de la
you can kind of see
naturaleza.
that hollowing out to recognize that there's ice underneath. Because on this little stretch that we are starting up on to go up top, this first little part is all iced core moraine, which means under this compacted dirt and rocks and gravel is actually ice. And because the dirt and rocks and everything make it a little insulated from the sun, it probably will be the last to, possibly be the last to melt. However, if that crevasse keeps going with lots of water, it's also possible that the water will make this particular road that we're on unstable because it'll melt away the ice underneath. So we may have to move. We do move our roads to the ice every couple of years anyways, just to let it have time to recover.
Para esa pequeña subidita vamos ahorita a estar como que fueras en una montaña rusa para arriba. Y observando la naturaleza de las montañas, los picos.
So you can see people down there have parked their cars as far as they get as close as they can with the car and walk, and you certainly can do that too. You can drive down there and walk. As I say, it's at the edge of this lake here that we might actually see that silver poncho or whatever it was. May come to a resting point. So if it's important to you, you can hang out there today. So I mentioned that people have been coming onto the ice in various vehicles along the way since the 1940s. Now the Brewster brothers are the ones who first started moving tourists around the
1994 empezaron a explorarlo.
They are also the ones that built the first chalet on the site of where the Discovery Center sits now, back in 1939.
Lo vergón que se siente ir aquí ahorita así para arriba.
Alright, we got our big hill ahead of us. So I'm still in 6-wheel drive. We just got to gear down. But if there's anybody on board who wants to play a little game, if you think you have really good balance and good strong core muscles, here's your chance. If you want, you stand up in front of your seat. No leaning on the seat, no holding on. You stand up tall, hands in the air, and the idea is you see how long can you stay standing before gravity takes you down. No leaning on the seat, no support, just stand tall. Don't rest your legs, no extra balance. No holding onto the seat. See, I see you're holding onto the seat. Don't stand in the aisle though, because if you fall, I don't want you falling down. There you go, see that? Yep, gravity, remember, 32% grade.
Aquí está hablando de que dado la gravedad, a ver cuánto tiempo dilatas parado sin agarrarte, sin nada.
If you stay standing at the lower part, you're not going to stay standing up. You're resting on the seat in front of you. That doesn't count.
Dice que no te puedes estar mucho tiempo porque te bota la gravedad y como vamos para arriba, es cierto, tienes razón. No
Yeah, I know you're trying. You're trying hard. Here we go. Like I say, also good exercise for your core muscles, right? That's how you get your training. Look, Ma, no hands. There you go. So, as we come back up onto the lateral moraine, and we'll get a good view of the one across the way, at one time, so remembering that at one time, this entire area was filled by ice, right? Back in the Ice Age. Now the thing is about the Athabasca Glacier, it was not the only glacier that went that far. We're going to get a different view as we get up to the top here. However, it would have been multiple glaciers that came down to combine as one, and as they're retreating, they eventually separated. But one of the key points to point out here is not only is the glacier shrinking in length, so it's shrinking back, but also in depth. So at one point, as high as we are, and even higher beside us on the lateral moraine, that is how high the glacier once was. we go. We made it. Yay, hey. No one's still standing. Oh well, I could have gave that $20 away if there was still someone standing, but oh well, nobody made it. Oh, I see you, Jackson. I see your hands up. There we go. So as we crest to the top here, have a look across the valley on the left. And you'll see there's trees, but you see that gray rock, all the fine rock? That's another lateral moraine. Like I'm talking straight across almost towards behind us. And again, it gives you a good idea of how high the glacier once was. So I'm just going back into four-wheel drive. So I'm talking about over there, right? Opposite mountain. And you'll see the triangle of trees there on the other side of it. And those trees are also about 400 years old. They were very protected by the glacier, so they were supported. And on the other side of the trees is another glacier. We're going to have a view of it as we get to the highway on our way to the skywalk. So those glaciers would have both been down in the valley. They would have merged all together to fill this valley with ice and snow.
Resumido en pocas palabras, rápido y breve. De aquel lado donde voy filmando dice que hay palos que tienen hasta 400 años de viejos.
Now before organized tourism, in the sense of travelers being taken around in comfortable and some not so comfortable vehicles,
Recordar
this area
suscribirte,
was also a hotbed for
darle like y activar la
explorers.
campanita si te gustó el
In the
video.
early years, of course, the fur
Con tu
traders were
suscripción
using
estarás
the
ayudando a
Saskatchewan, North
colectar
Saskatchewan and the Athabasca rivers
lo
to
que
make
sea
their
que se
way
haya
up
que
into
colectar
northern
para ayudar a
Alberta to
personas
gas from the
necesitadas,
First Nations to trade
como abuelitos
furs,
y
etc.
niños que
And
quizás
then
posiblemente no
after the
tengan nada
railway
que
was
comer.
completed down in the south there, at Banff, Canadian Pacific completed
Espero
the
te haya
railway,
gustado,
it
yo nos
really
vemos
made the
hasta la
Canadian
próxima.
Rockies